explosive. And here again is Florida. And unlike an actual alligator, there is nothing stealth about this particular group of Gators. They are loud, they are proud, they are tough, and they are in pursuit of even more titles.
Chop up an SEC tournament championship for Florida for the first time since 2014.
The Florida Gators are the national champions once again.
And an outright SEC regular season title for the first time since 2014.
Yeah, they just keep checking boxes, and they checked another one yesterday thanks to Alex Condon, a force for Florida, and they dismissed the Kentucky Wildcats and Big Blue Nation. Made time for Vanderbilt, miles to go, man, but they are closer now than they've been before. He couldn't miss for a while. Vanderbilt, they beat up on the Vols. Speaking of beating up, how about the roll that Ole Miss is on? Ilias Comardine and company. The historic run of 3 in a row rolled on last night with a big win over Alabama. And there's no rust on this guy. Darius Acuff, he got rest, and he came out rolling, man. He dropped 37 last night. Arkansas advances into the semifinals. John Calipari is back. His record in the SEC tournament is incredible. Ole Miss and Arkansas at 3:30, but we begin here with Florida and Vanderbilt. Welcome inside a massive, great day of college basketball on the network. Alongside Jimmy Dykes, I'm Carl Ravitch of the Salang. In just a second, Florida is flexing again, and we didn't even see the best version of them. What makes you think that another day on this floor might help turn the corner?
Well, I think this is a Florida team that came here a year ago and fueled their run to the national championship, and they're built to do it again. They're going to have to shoot the ball better. Only made 3 threes yesterday. I think they can. They got a rematch right now against Vanderbilt. A high-scoring affair, man, the first time they played. A 98-94 win by the Gators, fueled by that front line that is the best in college ball already. Chenyelu, Condon, Houck, Hanlockton, and that is a big concern for Vanderbilt. He's holding up on the interior. Vanderbilt's a small team, as good as they are, and boy, Florida, they sent a message as they walked off that floor doing the Gator chomp. You know that Vanderbilt remembers that moment.
They sure do. And meantime, the Golden Boys are there talking amongst themselves. Alyssa, it's the old rust versus rest conversation, isn't it?
Yeah, and Todd Golden told me that after that win yesterday, there's plenty of things they can clean up offensively, but he's not overly concerned about going 3 of 20 from the three-point line. He said, we struggled with shooting earlier this season. It's something we've gotten better at over the last month and a half, but he said our greatest equalizer is our ability to get on the board, something that Florida has done all season long with their size. When it comes to this Vanderbilt squad, a team that they beat by just 4 back in mid-January, he said their guards are going to be our biggest challenge today. Any of them can get hot at any time.
Well, he's talking about Duke Miles and Tyler Tanner. They closed out the game yesterday, continued to keep the ball in their hands. They did it multiple ways against the Volunteers. Tyler Tanner is one of the toughest covers in all of college ball. He's small, he's quick, gets separation, and Duke Miles is now healthy. And man, how good was he yesterday? Knocking down threes, driving downhill. If you cannot stay in front of Duke Miles and Tyler Tanner, Florida could be in a real test right now. Those two cats, boy, they can close you out from the free throw line. A ton of confidence. Tough as nails at the guard spot are the Vanderbilt Commodores.
It's a little different Duke than it was in that first meeting. He was banged up with a knee, and just a couple of games later, they opted to have surgery. He is 100% now, and in the 33 minutes, he scored 30 yesterday, hit 11 shots. We're set for the tip, and it's controlled by the team in black. Kind of a home game for these guys with the campus about 10 minutes away.
Boogie Flan gets the assignment on Tyler Tanner to start with. Lee on Duke Miles. That is a challenge.
Well, here's Miles, tries to go downhill on Lee. Penetrates deep, got bumped. Now Okereke has a wide open 3 that comes up short. He had a lot of those opportunities yesterday as well. As we take a look at the Gator lineup, a 26-16, just 2 losses in conference. And it's an 8-man rotation. Those were starting 5. Chenyelu finds a cutting Houck. He can't get it to go. Good interior defense by Okereke. Nichols, a streak shooter. He's been right now in a slump, but that guy can get it going any minute. And Tanner has a step on Houck. Okereke thought about it. Now Tanner is wide open, and he gets that one to go.
Big time decision by Okereke. A little bit of a boomerang pass from Tyler Tanner. Whips it right back. Good start for 3 in black.
And a good hands there from Duke Miles. Again, as Jimmy emphasized yesterday, in every Florida game we do, they want to immediately go to the other end of the court after a ball goes through the basket.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Tyler Tanner whips that thing to Okereke and whips it right back. That's called a boomerang pass. And this Vanderbilt team, they are so good offensively and so fast with their actions.
Chinyelu goes with a little jump hook that rattles around and in. Ruben Chinyelu, 6'10", 265 out of Nigeria, had 20 in the earlier matchup against Vanderbilt, 16 of those in the second half.
SEC Defensive Player of the Year. He will be the National Defensive Player of the Year as well.
It's a really good matchup here, and that's a high arcing one. How about the defense by Houck? And they're running out again. Count the number of times they try to score within the first 5-6 seconds. There's Flan doing it right there.
Took it 6 seconds, 24 on that shot clock. Boy, they just flood the floor with speed, don't they? Floor at all 5 spots, hyper aggressive. They have different looks in their transition offense, which is kind of unique.
Thomas Houck, who played great defense there. He's 6'9", but he plays about 7'2". Blocked and goes hard. Nope, that's Chinyelu's body there that forced him to the floor.
Oh, Chinyelu out on that ball screen coverage and then gets back to protect the rim. He is a special dude, 9 in white.
Xavier Lee, part of the group that didn't shoot particularly well, but he did make that big shot down the stretch, which stretched out an early lead. Miles to Tanner, and an easy one.
That Vanderbilt defense is scrappy and gritty. They play with a lot of moxie. They're a small team. But man, are they good sending the second defender and getting rip steals.
Condon will not take that three. Instead, he bangs into Okereke, and that was 2 guys who collided, and they're going to call the foul on A.K. Okereke. Mark Byington's done an unbelievable year. They started this year 16-0. Like Jimmy said yesterday, they owned the non-conference. They carried the flag for the SEC. Really good on the road. Tanner and Miles are the 2 guys that make this whole thing move. And they are number 8 offense, according to KenPom. Florida's 10, which is why we expect to track meet today.
Yeah, no doubt. Both teams very comfortable and confident getting up and down the floor. Vanderbilt, they only get 10 offensive rebounds a game. So their first shot today has to be a really high percentage. We won't get a lot of second ones.
Lee, he tried to swing it. That's good defense. And another turnover early. That was a problem for them yesterday.
I just don't think fans understand how good this Vanderbilt defensive team is. They are a high IQ group. They know when to gamble, when not to. They throw you different looks on the ball screen coverage, keep you guessing, and they are lightning quick.
Chandler Bing, who is a terrific freshman, big body. He's on the floor now. As Miles kicks it, Okereke will be given another chance. Yeah, he gets one to go.
Bradley, that's really good action. That's great action. Okereke sets the back screen on Chinyelu. Chinyelu then gets attracted to the ball, and he just simply pops out wide open.
Jalen Washington also on the floor for Vanderbilt. That hedge by Washington to cause Lee. And that's a near rip away and a jump ball. It will stay with Florida, but boy, feisty defense from Vandy early.
Well, I saw this Vanderbilt team down in the Battle for Atlantis back in November, and I just sensed that they had an edge about them and a fight about them that's uncommon. Look at the black jerseys converge on that ball. Well, the reason why Florida made only 3 out of 23s yesterday. Gambling just a little bit early with Mark Mine, sending all that black jerseys to the white.
Tanner, great defense. Flan forced it up, and it's an offensive rebound for the Gators, who are as good as any team in the nation at second chance opportunities. Their philosophy is there's no such thing as a bad shot, because even if we miss, we're likely to get the rebound. And it turns into 2 points for Chinyelu.
Not only do they get offensive rebounds, they convert them into points at a very high rate. Last year, they were getting offensive rebounds and throwing them out for threes. This year, they get offensive rebounds and go right through your chin.
was in the corner. Condon forced him basically out of bounds, and that led to a turnover. And the alley-oop to Houck. That was beautiful between two best friends.
And I talk about the different looks that Florida has in transition, Ravi. That time it was Chinyelu running to the rim, attracting that first defender back, and it's just a wide open alley for Houck to run down for the lob.
And Condon has got over 100 assists. As a big man this season, one of 3 dudes on this team with 100 assists.
He's the best passing big man that Florida has ever had, and they've had some good ones.
Tanner shakes Chinyelu and gets the friendly roll here about 20 minutes from where he grew up.
Small guard, but can absolutely get his own separation about any time he wants. Lightning quick.
Houck just plays so much taller than a 6'9" measurement. As Condon bats all the way in, and now throws up a jump hook, and it will roll over and in.
That is their version of bully ball. They get a little bit of a mismatch and just clear out that middle third and let Condon, Chinyelu, hand locked and go to work.
Washington free throw line extended, knocks that one down. Good shooting early for Vanderbilt today. They're 5 out of 8. Blocked to a former football player against an Australian rules football player in Condon. Houck hustles into the corner. Did he do it? He did. Banged it off a Vanderbilt player. It'll stay Florida basketball as we take our first time out. Alex Condon, Thomas Houck, they are blood brothers. And man, it certainly showed on this alley-oop play. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team. Thomas Houck flushing it in back to the SEC tournament. Crystal ball for Jimmy, man. He is the defensive player of the year in the conference. You could certainly make the argument in the country. He does it all for this team, and his growth and development has been really fun to watch.
Yeah, no doubt. He's a superstar of a person as well, and very grateful and thankful for the opportunity that college basketball has brought to him. But Ruben Chinyelu, a lot of guys can protect the rim, maybe a tad better than Ruben Chinyelu, but he protects the entire half court better than anyone else in the college game.
Scholar Athlete of the Year as well, to your point. Substitutions in for Florida. Klafschar is a terrific shooter. Hand locked in a 7-2 with the ball. This is Klafschar, and Isaiah Brown, another shooting threat, left-handed, is in the corner. Houck beats his man, throws it up, and they will call the foul. Pat Adams, that sends Houck to the free throw line. Gives us an opportunity to kind of share some of the Thomas Houck story, a kid that grew up in Pennsylvania. Even his own staff at Florida would say, this guy was so late a bloomer, we weren't ever sure he was going to bloom. In high school, he was 6'7". He clearly has obviously grown, Jimmy. But this was not a highly sought-after, highly recruited player. In the world of analytics, though, he fit a position, a role, and he has blossomed.
He's all of 6'9", and he and Billy Richmond from Arkansas are the 2 hardest playing guys in this league. He's going to be a lottery pick. He's going to be in the league for a long time. He cares about the right things. I love what his dad told me yesterday on the elevator. He said, I called Tommy last night and just said, hey, remember when you were little Tommy out in the driveway, had dreams of being in this type of a situation, and here you are.
Great defense by Klafschar, Jimmy. As Tanner gets the ball back, and they still have 13 on the shot clock. He tries to take advantage of Klafschar. He's got the ball with 5. He got by him against Houck, and Nickel will fire. Nope.
Vanderbilt desperately needs Tyler Nickel to knock down 3 or 4 threes in this game.
Klafschar searching and snaking his way in, and he puts it up and in over Tanner.
Ravi, the trend started, I think, in college ball with those highway seal-off screens with Florida a few years ago, and they are outstanding at it. All 4 of those guys understand the timing of it. The guards read it well.
Yeah, Jimmy, there's another Nickel 3, and boy, has he been off here in about the last month. Great pass to Bing. Hand-locked and came over and got enough body onto him that Bing will go to the free throw line.
Florida is such a tough cover, and Vanderbilt knows it. Hanging in there right now. You got to make Florida work for their points. There's so many weapons, and we've talked about Florida's three-point shooting, how it's gone up month after month after month, and Mark Byington knows his defenses have to be spot on today to control this Florida team.
Nichols made 9 of his last 45, and to your point, the last 2 trips down here, Tanner turned the corner. It looked like he had an open layup. Boom, Hauk shows up. Bing gets the ball, looks like an open layup, and there's hand-locked, and it shows up. The skies get dark very quickly when you think you have blue ones ahead of you.
Well, it's the number 5 defensive efficiency team in the country, Florida. And they're a better defensive team than they were a year ago. The most dominant rebounding team overall, Rabbi, that we've seen maybe in the past 40 years. The only numbers that match it in North Carolina back in 2017, they rode those same rebounding numbers all the way to a national title.
Hauk steps to his left for an open 3. He can't get it to go, but Brown picks up an offensive rebound, gets bodies in the air, blocked from behind. Looked like it was Bing who did it.
You don't have to win the glass for Vanderbilt, but you certainly have to fight and not concede to Florida.
Miles, after that 30-point effort yesterday, looking for his first 2 today, guarded by Fland, who's a very good defensive player. Okereke, he cleared some space for himself, but his fade left that ball short. And now they're going to get A.K. Okereke. That's not a great foul for Okereke. Timeout on the floor. There's a bunch of championships to be decided today. We're in the semis at the SEC.
You make it the start from your team.
I think we're playing pretty well. Vandy hit some tough shots early. We lost Tanner that one time for the 3, which wasn't great. But we're making them take tough 2s. Got to be a little tougher on the offensive end. Vanderbilt's been physical with us. We got to get to our spots a little better that way.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Well, Florida's defense is so good, you have to play against it with massive respect. You cannot be stubborn, Ravi, and think, I'm going to challenge the size of Florida and prove them wrong. And Vandy's done a great job. Look at this, playing off of 2 feet, attracting those big bodies and finding those kick-out short jumpers or the long threes. Man, that is terrific offense by Vanderbilt. I love what Mark Byington told us before the game. We've got to run great offense, not turn it over, and how about this? Don't fall down.
Don't fall down.
He said, if you fall down today on this court, it is a flood of speed and advantage Florida going the other way. I thought that was simple and so important.
Yeah, they're tough enough 5-on-5. If you fall down, it's 5-on-4. We're going to have no chance. So we'll ask Mike Tara to track falling down.
Yep, good thing we're on a wood court. No slippage here.
Lee, great defense again, and Jaden Leverett is in the game. He had to go off him. Big number 34. He's a freshman who does provide some size. 6'11", 265, 270.
Yeah, and to your point, you just throw as many big bodies in as you have available. If you're Mark Byington today, Vanderbilt's been playing about 7.5 guys. He might go to 8 because of the front line that he's up against.
McLaughlin, that former football player, claimed he had the best hands of anybody in Georgia when he was playing, dealing with Condon. Chinua just throw it up there and somebody go get it, and it was him who went to get it. And it was Bing who got wrapped around him. That's a foul on number 7 in black.
Just vicious and violent, right? Ruben Chinua when the shot's taken. I said it yesterday, he doesn't rent the front of the rim. He owns it on both ends of the floor.
5 offensive rebounds already for Florida in the game.
Now watch Ruben Chinua. He throws that thing up. His shoulders are square and just knocks people out of the way. Great offensive rebounders are great at getting their own, and that's Ruben Chinua.
Nickel on Condon. Chinua knows it, so he throws it down to him. Volleyballs it out to Brown, who launches a high arcing 3 that's no good. And Tanner, literally like a fly, just got knocked away by Chinua. Then he dribbled and they stole it. Miles steps into one and he got hit. Clavshar may have got him, and that's going to be 3 free throws.
Well, Duke Miles and Tyler Tanner are so crafty at getting fouled as three-point shooters. They've done it multiple times throughout the season. Their quickness will surprise you when you're covering these guys. This is coming off of a dribble handoff, and Clavshar, you love the aggressiveness, trying to blow it up, but if you can't blow it up, man, you're always putting yourself at risk for a foul, and now you've got an excellent free throw shooter with a chance for 3.
He hit all 4 of his free throws yesterday, and he gets the first of 3. Mentioned all the championships we got and semifinals as well. How about the American Athletic Conference semi? South Florida, Charlotte, 3 Eastern time on ESPN2. Wichita State will take on Tulsa, who knocked off North Texas. There were a lot of amazing games yesterday. Jaden Bradley was crazy, Acuff, but Tulsa beat North Texas 90-84 in 3 overtimes.
How about that? Yeah. Brian Hodgson, the 1 seed right now with South Florida, the hot list, possibly for the next Syracuse head coach. Providence also looking right now. He'll be a tremendous hire in that part of the country. He's from just outside the Buffalo area, former Nate Oates assistant at Alabama. Vandy really pressuring up top. There is no high-low if there is no high. And Vanderbilt's taking it away with ball pressure.
Brown again. That one is no good. Great box out by McLaughlin on Condon to keep him off. Miles has seen it go through the basket. Does he want to do it again? He kicks it to McLaughlin. Tanner gives it back to him. Oh, no good. Chinyalu's on the ground, so they got an extra shooter, and it's Miles who can't get it to go.
Alex Condon just playing center fielder as a defender, completely backing off of McLaughlin, the help defender, and he's 6'11".
He wants to go one-on-one against 99.
Gonna bring help.
3 different moves, and he comes up just short. Look at Chinyalu there battling. And they say it stays with Florida. Ruben Chinyalu was on his knees again, hustling for the basketball.
And I saw Ruben Chinyalu about a month ago. I stayed after practice, and he was going through a lot of drills with the student managers for about 20 minutes, Ravi. You can say a lot about this guy, his heart, his toughness, his gratefulness, his thankfulness coming through that NBA Academy Africa. But after that 20 minutes of working with managers, I watched him go to every single one of them and say, hey, man, thanks for staying and working me out. That just uncommon stuff I think we got to point out with a guy like Chinyalu.
Really good call by KB Burdett, part of our veteran officiating crew here. And again, more bodies on the ground. Condon was down there. Gators have missed their last 8. So maybe some carryover from yesterday's poor shooting performance. McLaughlin will try. That's way short.
Todd Golden told Alyssa, I'm not concerned about my three-point shooting, but it will become a concern if they struggle again from the three-point line.
Well, Florida Gators coaching staff has gotten the ear of Doug Shows. They want him to look at something, and it may have to do with a play underneath the Vanderbilt basket. One of the things from the first meeting, Jimmy, that Mark Byington brought up, hook and hold. There were some that were called, some that weren't.
Yep.
He feels they went against them, and maybe Florida is believing there's something else.
Florida has appealed a non-basketball play. The play is under review.
And it's another hook and hold that they want to look at underneath the basket of Vanderbilt.
Yeah, this is different than a coach's challenge. We know the things you can challenge, but this is an appeal. When you play Florida these days, you're playing against moxie, pride, toughness. They can irritate you as well as any team in this league, and you got to play through it and not let it affect you. KB Burdett is right now jaw to jaw with Todd Golden.
And you can see Condon go down, and I believe he's tied up there with Miles. That's what they're looking at.
Yeah, Florida's asking for an unobserved flagrant foul on the other end and where we just finished.
So Burdett and Shows having a conversation. Pat Adams is kind of lingering there, and they have an answer to the question he wants.
After review, the appeal is unsuccessful. Florida will lose a timeout, and the play will resume.
It appears as if they were looking at Miles and Condon, and Golden and Burdett. And KB Burdett has told Todd Golden to get back to his bench now on multiple occasions.
Yeah, Todd Golden is just not letting this go. And if you're the officials, blow the whistle and start the action. You've made your call.
KB coming over here to tell Jimmy what the officials saw. You can see that Adams still wants to get Golden an explanation. Whether that satisfies him or not, he's still looking for an explanation. Look, they have, Jimmy, a video coordinator out there who is also insisting to Golden, I saw what I saw.
Yeah, well, but the decision has been made. If you're Doug Shouse, KB Burdett, and Pat Adams, blow the whistle and play the game.
Yeah.
Get Todd Golden back and get this game going, because you've listened way too long. Whether Todd Golden is right or wrong, and you've made the right or wrong call, you've made your decision. You went to the monitor. I don't think you can allow a coach to continue with this conversation right now.
Play resumes. 17-14, under 10 to go here in half number 1. Lee into the paint. And he got stuck in there, and now with 14 seconds on the clock, Condon and Flan go two-man game. And he lost it on the way up, and that is going to be out of bounds off Florida.
It's that hot hand action that Vanderbilt plays with defensively. I think they're the best in the league. Coming at the ball when the ball's in the gaps with two hands, not fouling. They're so clever and quick with the reach-ins.
Look at the close and the switch from Hauk right away to Condon, which gives Miles now a step, and he's going to get a chance for 4. Hand-locked and got him. And Miles playing some string music on the ground after it went through.
And those two guards are a handful, and that's the risk you have when you're switching a 5 onto a shooting guard. And Micah hand-locked in all 7-2, can't get to him. Man, what a big shot maker. He understands where he's at, right?
That's right.
You know, it's some form of country music in his mind being here in Nashville.
He's only made 77 of his last 83 free throws. And again, when you see it go through once, man, you want to keep seeing it. And Miles now is up to 7 points to match Tanner for the team lead.
Yeah,
there you got Condon with a moving screen.
But Ravi, that doesn't get called unless Tyler Tanner, the all-defensive players, putting heat on that basketball. Well, a lot of teams never get called because they're not lighting up that ball. But look at Tyler Tanner, man. He is determined. He's low. He's quick. Bam. And just takes a hard hit.
Washington with 8. Squares up. Got it.
You're going to have to make some tough twos against the number 5 defense in the country, and that was one of them.
23-14. Washington's first basket yesterday came on that alley-oop from Miles late in the game. Lee's 3. Way off. Hauk. And he will get fouled and go to the free throw line. Again, every shot is a good shot because their ability to grab an offensive rebound, which they have now done 8 times.
Yeah, it is, but if you're Vanderbilt, man, you're seeing the game being played out just like you wanted. Florida's 0 for 5. They were 3 for 20 yesterday, so now 3 for 25 in this building are the Florida Gators. If you're Vanderbilt, there's no reason to get overstretched right now defensively in this game.
12% is that shooting percentage from deep. Hauk gets it in. And remember, look, we've seen Florida, Jimmy, since the beginning of the year. There were a period where they couldn't make anything, and then they went to making about 50 to 60% of their shots from outside the arc. Was yesterday a one-off or a trend or something they're going to have to deal with?
Well, they shot it so well January, February, and 40% in the month of March coming into this tournament. I think it's a one-off, but certainly starting to play in the minds of Florida fans a little bit right now. Not maybe Todd Golden as well.
Free throws ended an 11-0 run. They swung it to McLaughlin, stepped into it. He got the free to go. He's wide open.
That is all Tyler Tanner. He knew for the first bounce of the basketball, he was coming right back to McLaughlin up top. And just high IQ play by the team in black.
Fland. That's a good 3 for Boogie Fland.
That is a great sign. man, a 50% three-point shooter during the month of February. Been huge for Florida.
Because they're so aggressive in their switching, you've got to be able to handle the ball, and Miles and Tanner do that as well as anybody.
Oh, he overpassed, right? Overpassed.
Looked like McLaughlin could have just gone up with it. Instead, he tried to get it to his buddy Washington, and it goes out of bounds off of his fingertips. Hard to get inside the head of anybody. I assume it's country music, but who knows? Duke Miles is strumming the strings, and then they said, hey, check me out, man.
It was Morgan Wallen.
Somebody,
Zach Top, somebody like that. It had to be.
The way your team is executing the game plan so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really physical game. I think we're responding well. We're trying to get through some moving screens. I think we're doing a good job of that. Offensively, it's hard down there, but I think we're finding ways. Duke Miles made some shots. So the offensively eases out, but we got to keep guarding.
Thanks, Coach.
Like what he told Alyssa, probably told his guys, hey, maneuver through those moving screens against Florida. They're not going to get them all called. You got to continue to fight. And boy, the guard play for Vanderbilt right now, Ravi. Duke Miles and Tyler Tanner both with 7 points, and that Vanderbilt offense, 6 assists on their 8 makes. Yeah. Really moving the ball well.
They bring Leverett back in, the big guy there. He's on Chinyelu. Quick to the basket. No, he can't get that to go. Condon, though, rips the offensive rebound. That's no good. Hauk's tip no good. Chinyelu's under there. Well, they have 3 chances. You're bound to either get a basket or get fouled, and they are tenacious on the offensive glass.
On a record-setting pace, just the second team since 1947 with an offensive rebound percentage of over 40% and a defensive rebound percentage of over 75%. Think about this. Why are they putting up those numbers? I said it yesterday. Florida doesn't rebound against Vanderbilt. They rebound against the other 9 guys, including their 4 teammates. Man, that's the tenacity that you have to be a great rebounding ball club.
11 already, Jimmy, offensive rebounds. 11. And it makes up for a poor shooting performance when you can just have guys go and get it. What they do, they are first in total rebound margin, second in offensive rebound percentage. Hard to imagine there's a team that actually has a higher offensive rebound percentage.
Historically good is what Florida is right now.
Nice move there by McLaughlin. He's got to get a chance for 3 as they call the foul on Chinyelu.
Why was that good action? Because it was simple. Todd Golden getting warned again. It would be the last warning in this game, right? Ravi, simple action. McLaughlin is a speed guy. He's going to boom right there. That's a cleared out play that Mark Byington's done 2 or 3 times in this game, opening up that middle third, not for his guards, but for the speed of his bigs, and a good seal off on the inside as well by Nicholson.
Cummings, George, and Jimmy, 6'8", 230. He's not going to back down from contact, McLaughlin. Of course, his uncle Chester McLaughlin, a name very familiar to sports fans, a 13-year NFL career. Devin had 16 touchdowns, 83 receptions when he was playing, and we're going to get offsetting calls here as Leverett and Chinyelu got into it. It's obvious this officiating crew is very aware of what Mark Byington and what anybody watching can see. This is a physical game.
You knew when Florida walked off the corner of Memorial Gym with a Gator chomp that
it's a great
Vanderbilt was going to play with all kinds of intensity in this game. It's just part of it. We got a real ball game because of it.
Lee. Another 3 that doesn't go in, and there's that size. Leverett can match the size of Condon, Chinyelu, and Hauk.
Manny has gotten to the 3rd side of the floor multiple times in this game, moving that Florida defense. Got a look.
Yeah, Nickel needs to see it go through, and he does. He finally knocks down a Hawking 3.
Don't celebrate.
No, down the other end, literally in 4 seconds, they get 2 points.
And literally, if you're Tyler Tanner or Duke Miles, you've got to get back at least be in the vicinity of Ruben Chinyelu, because he can outrun your bigs, talking about Chinyelu. So much rim pressure on you, these Florida Gators do after a make or a miss.
McLaughlin. Air ball, Leverett. boy, that's a bonus, too, from Jaden Leverett.
What a big body that Mark Byington has thrown in there. Only averages 5 minutes a game in conference play, but the game dictates who you put on the floor.
Watch it. Condon right at him. Good defense by Leverett. Picked off by Nickel. He's got an idea. Throws it up and in traffic. Fland is going to get the foul called against Tanner.
Talked about Vanderbilt. It's all about fight and fury. And Tyler Tanner knew that again the entire time. I'm going to take the ball to the left and find my fill guy from behind, Tyler Nickel. Very physical shooter that Vanderbilt needs. And he gets a rip on the other end. And he's more than a three-point shooter. He's a tough screener. He's a tough guy defensively. It's just a physical body blow basket. Boom, right there by 5 in black and gets it to drop.
Boogie Flannan goes to the free throw line. And the first one is up and good.
Really very uncommon for Florida to miss shots at the rim.
Yeah, they usually cause other teams to miss shots
but
at the
in this
rim.
game, Florida, because of the size on the floor, how quick they are to the ball, Florida has missed 6 layups already in this game, 2 out of 8 at the rim.
So Byington gets the minutes that he needs out of Leverett, so he sits the big guy down. He brings Washington back into the game. Tanner gets it to him. He's got the entire lane and hand-locked it in his way, so he opts to use the valve that McLaughlin was. 7 on the shot clock for Miles. Worked his way right into hand-locked him. He just was there to swallow it up. Clashard. Corner to Brown. Baseline hard drive. Stuffed by the rim. Condon offensive rebound. And another one.
The speed of Condon, it's hard to measure the importance of it. 6'11" and wins the foot race from rim to rim about 9 out of 10 times.
13 offensive rebounds. 10 second chance points for Vanderbilt.
The ball gotten stuck on the left side of the floor this possession. Finally gets reversed.
Miles trapped. You got McLaughlin who launches a long one that's spot on.
Ravi, he's a natural forward that had to play the 5 last year, but you do trust his release. Doesn't make a lot of them, but capable of stretching out the bigs of Florida.
His 9 lead the way now for Vanderbilt. Balanced attack so far for the Commodores, who lead by 12. Condon throws one up softly. Boy, does he have a nice touch.
That is the pressure release right now for Todd Golden. When things start going a little bit south, he just jackhammers the ball inside. Condon is option number 1.
Alley-oop down low. Hand-Lockton was there. Picked up his own, and it's going to be Condon who came in late. And that's a foul on 21 in white. Alex Condon, that is his second. Well, the ball's going through the basket at a 50% clip right now for Vanderbilt. 13 of 26. Even better from 3. 99. Buries a 3. And Vanderbilt in front of what's becoming a Vandy crowd. Leads by 10.
Vandy Nation's answered the bell as well, Ravi.
Yeah, you can hear him in here, can't you, Dari? Thank you very much, guys. See you at the half, 39-29. It was Tanner and Miles yesterday. They're doing it again today, Jimmy.
You got to have a great guard play in March if you're going to advance in this tournament or the next one. Man, Vanderbilt has it. Tyler Tanner, a small guy, but lack of size doesn't bother him. He makes up with speed, quickness, and extremely intelligent. How to get his own shot, how to create space. And at times, Florida, they have not been defending. They've been chasing Vanderbilt, and that's what those guards can do to you.
So in the background, you can hear Pat Adams. Vandy appealed what they thought might have been a hook and hold. That was unsuccessful.
So both teams now have lost a timeout with an unsuccessful appeal.
Well, guys, listening in to that last Florida timeout, the guys and assistant coaches will talk amongst themselves before Todd Golden comes and sits down and starts talking ball. One of the messages from the assistants, guys, you're letting them set the tone. You're letting them set the intensity of this game, reminding them they want to go win a championship too, challenging these guys to up their energy.
Well, Byington's gone back to Leverett here, Jimmy, leveraging his size.
I'm not sure if Vanderbilt's playing harder, but they are playing better.
There's a steal from Tanner. He's got hand locked in coming with him. Oh, what a beautiful play by a savvy guard.
He is going to be a surprise guard in the NBA because of all the things he does. He is dynamic as a defender.
Condon will fire a three. That looked great.
He has struggled all year long and kind of rebooted himself and became a kick-your-butt guy. But every once in a while, you tempt him and he will rise and fire.
And the best part about that, Jimmy, no hesitation.
None. Tyler Tanner's hands are as good defensively ratty as I've seen in this league since I've been covering it. And that has been a while.
Washington pulls up. They're shooting really well right now, and that's why they got themselves this lead.
Vanderbilt has played so well the first 18 and a half minutes of this first half. Can they close it out and even build on the lead?
Oh, Brown, that is a Pat Adams offensive foul on Isaiah Brown. Maybe trying to dictate, to Alyssa's point, sort of the tempo, the pace, the energy.
But Vanderbilt's a quicker team, and it has bothered Florida in this game. And Tyler Tanner, his quickness defensively, we've already seen the result of him with a moving screen and the steals, and just a lot of confidence right now in this Vanderbilt offense. They've been given the green light to take some tough twos, and Tyler Nickel, I talked about him, man, he's a very physical defender, moves his feet well. What a first half so far for Vanderbilt in their hometown.
A little half-court pressure here. That shooting that I talked about, Jimmy, they made 10 of their last 13 shots.
Florida's going to go zone right now. Man, this is a danger with a guy like Duke Miles and Tyler Tanner that can rise and fire.
And Nickel. Not there, though, and Houck picks it up. Condon's all the way down the other end, and he picks it up. He's got Chinyelu down low. Houck, no, too strong, and he volleyballs it to Washington. He frees himself up. Miles rises.
Ravi, to your point, the longer this lead continues for Vanderbilt, the more the crowd gets behind the team in black, right?
Yeah, you can feel it. About a 12-second differentiation between shot and game clock. Good hands by Miles to knock it free. He's got Tanner ahead of him, but he'll do it himself. Then he lays it up off the window. 15-point lead, 15 seconds to go.
Just smothering defense, harassing defense by the team in black so far.
There'll be free throws. I tell you, they have something, Jimmy, on them, because in the first meeting, the 45 first half points that Vanderbilt scored was the only first half that they had allowed more points, was 50 to Arizona. They've got 47 more today. They have some secret sauce going.
Well, they're scoring off of their defense, and they're running clean offense, not turning the ball over. They got two maestros, not just one with Tyler Tanner and Duke Miles, but I'm telling you, that harassing defense, the speed they play with, talking about Vanderbilt, causing all kinds of problems for a big Florida team right now.
Yeah, to your point, 20 points off turnovers for Vanderbilt. 20 to 4. It's a plus 16. They're going to have 2.9 seconds, 2.8 now on the clock after Flan's free throw. Out for Tanner.
Two bounces in a shot. That's what he's got time for.
He's got it. And there it goes. And he may have been even too late, and it's off the iron. An unfamiliar position for the #1 seed, and maybe a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. They are down 47-34 at half, and the 20 points off turnovers was the big deal. Let's go to Alyssa.
Coach, how have you seen your big guys handle the size that Florida brings to this matchup?
Yeah, we're making stuff tough for them around the rim. We're challenging. It's a very physical game right now, so we're up to the challenge right now. We need to do it in the second half, too.
What will you say to your guards at halftime to continue what you've done offensively?
I think they're doing a good job of probing without it. I think Duke's doing a good job. Tyler Tanner's got some stuff in transition. We'll stay aggressive.
Thanks, Coach. Vanderbilt with a big lead at halftime, 47-34 over the Florida Gators. I talked to Coach Byington before this game. He said he got 2 hours of sleep last night prepping for this one. Dari no.
All part of one of the great weeks ESPN has all year. And we are in Nashville, Tennessee, Bridgestone Arena, where Vanderbilt, who of course has its campus located about 10 minutes away, leads Florida 47-34. We'll get Alyssa's thoughts in a moment. Jimmy Dykes, Carl Ravitch, welcome back here. Look, they didn't shoot very well. They didn't shoot very well in game 2, did the Florida Gators. Turnovers have been a big advantage for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's more about what Vanderbilt's doing. They're faster, more aggressive, and defensively just causing all kinds of chaos right now for this big physical Florida team. The number of turnovers in this game is kind of indicative of how they've played since they've been here. Think about this, Ravi. Florida has had 104 possessions this weekend. They've turned it over 27 times. That's a 26% turnover rate. And Vanderbilt is capitalizing on those loose handles and not quite as tight with the ball, just flying around, man, creating problems. Speed beats size. And that's exactly what Vanderbilt has done in this first 20 minutes.
Here are the numbers. There's those 20 points off the 9 turnovers. Miles and Tanner have been outstanding. It's very similar to what they did in their first game. Todd Golden wasn't happy with a lot of the officiating or the appeals, etc. But Alyssa, as he gets set for the second half, what's he thinking?
Yeah, and his players weren't happy with that first half either. Guys, I was standing in the hallway as these Gators were running back onto the court, out of the locker room. A lot of player-led coaching amongst each other, especially from Alex Condon. I heard them firing each other up, saying, hey, we've got 20 more minutes to get back to our game. Todd Golden told me they got out-physicaled in the first half, and they haven't been used to not being the most physical team in many of the games this season. He said we just didn't respond well, but he expects that to change. He also said they'll do some things differently defensively in this second half. Curious to see what Jimmy picks up here.
Yeah, we'll see. It's ball screen defensive coverage. They've typically been a team, Florida, that goes weak and then kind of levels you off, and there's the first change. Florida comes out in zone.
Yeah, right away. In that first meeting in which Florida won 98-94, they did start the second half on a 16-5 run. See if that can repeat itself. 16-5 to open up the second half in the first meeting.
That'd be zone 2-man by Florida.
Yeah, Miles kicks, Okereke wide open, knocks down a 3, and a good pass by Miles.
What a start, man. Those Vanderbilt guards. Now 9 assists, only 1 turnover between Duke Miles and Tyler Tanner. Just getting about anything they want against this Florida defense, man or zone.
Lead 16. 10 on the shot clock. They go down low to Condon with 5. He spins. He may have hooked, and he did. Okereke. Pat Adams saw it. He used that arm to hook Okereke and free himself up. Foul on Condon.
Ravi, it's a sign of frustration right now for Florida. Just totally out of rhythm. Vanderbilt is giving it to him and then some. And there's the hook right there. The reach around. That's an easy call for Pat Adams sitting there on the baseline. Maybe off the ball. They were looking maybe at something as well. And we stop again.
The call on the floor is a common foul. This is an official review for a possible upgrade.
We cannot think this is the best path for college basketball to continue down. I know the SEC is trying to get out in front of it and putting the challenges and the appeals under the same umbrella. I think we have to put a limit to how many times a coach can call for a stoppage in play and go check it.
The call on the floor would stand. Call on the floor would stand.
We played for 1,000 years without these monitor reviews and the challenges and the appeals. That's just a simple hold off. Nothing else there. Maybe they were looking at Chinlu and McLaughlin locked up, but
they've opened up Pandora's box, Jimmy, and once you open it up, it's hard to seal it back up.
Absolutely, but we can. If we get out in front of it and we truly care about the game of basketball, this offseason conversation has to be centered around the number of stoppages that we're having, all the video replays, all the video bark back that we're getting from coaches to officials. It is not healthy at all for the game of college basketball.
Now Florida is going to apply some full-court pressure.
I'm telling you, give each coach one challenge, whatever you want to call it, per half, and let's get back to getting games back to around 2 hours and increase the flow, and I think increase the product on the floor as well.
No question. The interest in that time, Chinny got his fingers right into the eye of Okereke. The foul is called. Okereke, it's a great story in its own right. He is a Cornell transfer, and he was originally a walk-on at Cornell. He kind of had in the back of his mind as a high schooler, a very intelligent, smart kid, knew he was going to go to a good school for his education, but thought maybe I'm capable of playing. He had a chance to go to UCLA or Cornell. He walked on at Cornell because he figured I got a better chance to walk on at Cornell than UCLA, and he's become a massively productive player in a power conference for Vanderbilt.
I think some of the Cornell basketball players even found him on campus and said, hey, we're having tryouts. We think you can help us. And now he finds himself a starter on a SEC team.
They freed up nickel, but again, no good inside. And they get Lee with a hold on McLaughlin.
Part of the problem when you're Florida or any team, when you switch 1 through 5, you can find yourself in a disadvantage when the ball's shot. That time Lee, the starting 2 guard, gets locked up with McLaughlin and has to hold to keep 99 off the glass.
Okereke, just to pay off his story, Cornell told him at one point, you're not ready to play for us.
Yeah.
Then he had to come back and do it again, and they said maybe we were wrong in our assessment initially. 8 on the shot clock. Miles, tricky dribbling against Condon. To his right, laid it up. No, he went with that left just to try to avoid having it blocked. Just too strong at that point.
Well, that's going to be the comeback offense for Todd Golden. And this is a team that won the national title last year with a guard play being the comeback offense. It's going to be on the front line of Hal Condon and Chinny right now.
And Vanderbilt keeps shooting at the clip they did in the first half, which was over 50%. Miles tries again. That's too strong with the reverse. And again, that's the size and the physicality of Florida. The block threat. Lee, short and left. Condon offensive board ripped away by Miles.
Vandy has won about 80% of the 50-50 balls in this game. Just faster at all 5 spots.
Tanner, beautiful dribbling. Soft touch off the window.
How good is he? Weighs about 165 pounds, but contact doesn't bother him. You can never knock him off balance. Plays with his feet underneath him. Understands how to get that ball high on the glass. He is tremendous.
First Commodore in double figures. Tanner with 11. Lee, corner 3. Yes.
That will help the inside game as well. If not, that Vanderbilt defense can just shrink bodies around those front line of Florida.
Oh boy, Okereke, and they call a block on Condon. The Gators saw their guy hit the deck and saw that's got to be offensive. But Doug Shouse right away called it on Condon.
Vanderbilt is so fast in and out of those ball screens. That is a charge. You can still take in the college game. To me, Condon's got his feet set. He's in legal guarding position. He's there. That was a guy off the bounce, not going into his shot.
Okereke, and they turn that call into 3.
That's a huge play to start this second half in favor of Vanderbilt.
Good hands there, Duke Miles. He's ahead of Hauk, who wants to block from the back. Instead, it was Brown. Down on the ground is Nickel. He's now back up. Fland. Hauk, good volleyball play back to Flan to keep it going. The action hot and heavy here at Bridgestone Arena.
When's Florida going to learn the lesson of not taking the ball into the gaps against Vanderbilt?
A Flan floater is no good, and it's a one and done as Washington rips it away. They leave him wide open, and he can't make him pay. Okereke had a wide open three. Yeah, Hauk in traffic. He had Tanner on him, and he took advantage of the mismatch.
Yeah, it all started with that initial ball screen by Hauk. He got the switch on him, then rose to that low block. Again, the comeback offense for Florida is playing through that big front line.
So he does it again. This time it's Washington stepping into one. Where they're leaving the big guys open and they're making them pay.
Mark Binder went to the portal to get Washington because he needed rim protection, but he also found a guy that can knock down a three in that trail 5 spot.
3 of 5 from 3 in this half. Hauk splash down.
Starting to heat up. Not quite yet at the level of that Big 12 game last night. Arizona and Iowa State close it out, making 13 of the last 15 shots, I think.
Washington, no, and the hand went up through the basket, did Hauk, and that's what Vanderbilt wants called. They didn't get it. Other end, Brown all the way. Denied by the basket. How about the left-handed pass from Miles to Tanner? What a play, Duke Miles. And Todd Golden wants a timeout.
And a couple of huge momentum plays for Vanderbilt. They started off the first half the more aggressive team, the same way in the second half. Dialing it up, rise, release, bam, nothing but the bottom. And that ball movement has been crisp and on target. Vanderbilt throws strikes. If you're a good shooting team, you're a good passing team. Even with a left paw, Duke Miles throws it out in front of Tyler Tanner. Got an upset brewing.
Don't get spread, all right? And be physical with your chest down there. The post-ups, all that stuff, all right? Play with your chest. Play with your chest.
I love it. Don't get spread out on defense. You can't take away everything as a defensive team. Florida right now, 4 out of 12 from the three-point line. There's no reason to get spread out if you're Vanderbilt, and play with your chest. Vanderbilt doing a great job rather being physical. They're not fouling, no fouls yet for Vanderbilt, just driving home the important stuff in that timeout.
He also reminded them, guys, no breaks. As soon as the play is over, you turn around. He knows how fast Florida can turn things in transition.
Yeah. No breaks and no fall downs.
To that point, they've only fallen down 1 time.
Yeah, we're actually tracking it today.
Yep, Florida's fallen down 6. Hauk. No good. Hand locked in. Volleyballs it twice, and it's in the hands of Bing.
Another 50-50 ball that Vanderbilt secures.
Washington pulls up. Boy, he is having himself a game. Washington with 13, tied with Tanner for the top.
Yeah, played in North Carolina, but Boogie Flan made a mistake. He gambled on Washington, took himself out of the play. Washington just takes up the slack and knocks it down.
Hauk guarded by the freshman Bing. Physical matchup up, no good. 2 free throws coming.
They may count this.
KB Burdett said nope, we're not going to count that, but we are going to go to break.
He said nope.
He did. Team's coming off the floor, and it's the biggest Florida deficit. 18 points, 62-44. Yeah, they're playing the right tunes in every which way, and it's not the music Florida wants to hear right now. Music City, baby. Vanderbilt's the home team, and Todd Golden's not feeling the vibe right now. We love the SEC tournament, and man, Ole Miss continues to roll. They've won 3 in a row. They get Arkansas in our next semifinal. And here Vanderbilt shocking Florida 62-45. Champ Week continues tonight, 6 Eastern time, the Phillips 66 Big 12 title game. And man, what a game that's going to be. How about the defense? The great Kingston Flemings has the most appropriate name. He's like basketball royalty. It's 2 versus 1 at Virginia Duke at 8:30 Eastern time. It was a buzzer beater last night from Jaden Bradley. As we return to action on the floor in Florida, picks the ball up off the missed free throw.
The game of the year in college basketball was Arkansas at Alabama. You and I did it 117-115. That was 1B though last night between Arizona and Iowa State. Just high-level shot making, especially the last 4 and 5 minutes in that game.
Florida's won the last 2. You call them 50-50 balls. As Klavshar is looking to free himself up, he's got Okereke with a switch. Difficult shot comes up way short. Brown rips it away, and he will get fouled, and a little more energy, effort results in good things for Florida.
Yeah, that was an effort play by Brown because he started off on the far side of the floor. And won that foot race to the ball was a high-level athlete, Isaiah Brown. Just a 6'4" sophomore. He had 14 points in the win at Vanderbilt. A lot of experience on that Puerto Rico national under-18 team.
And a little more physical than the other guards. He's 6'4", he's 210, comes out of Orlando, Florida. When he really rounded out the rotation of 8 with Handlockton and Klavshar, and then Isaiah Brown became a weapon during the course of the sort of middle part of this season. Made a lot of shots. And the more height on the floor, it doesn't lead to another offensive rebound, but a missed free throw for the Gators.
Here's the problem for Florida. They're in a deficit right now, and they need some help from the other team making mistakes. Well, that's not what Vanderbilt is. Those 2 guards have combined for 12 assists and 1 turnover. They're not giving Florida any easy runouts.
In all 40 possessions, 2 turnovers.
Yeah.
It's a crazy low number. Okereke backing in, Houck, physical. Step back. In and out. How about Bing picked it up? Oh, my goodness!
Yes, sir, says Mark Byington on the sideline.
Chandler Bing falling down. Dialed up his friends and knocked it in. He's got a chance for 3.
Shot goes to glass, and then no one is my friend. When Chandler Bing, a big, physical, strong dude, man, for a freshman class. 2 hands, a little bit of luck.
Type of play you don't soon forget, especially as a freshman. Bada bing off the backboard. Taking a break here.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Vanderbilt with a 64-46 lead over the Florida Gators. And how about the freshman Chandler Bing with a play that starts in the weight room. He doesn't look like a freshman. He doesn't act like a freshman if you ask his teammates and coaches. Just a couple of quick numbers for y'all from Chandler Bing in the weight room. He's 6'5", 217 pounds. He benches over 300. Tyler Nichols said he benches 275 for reps. 40-inch vert. And again, just remind y'all again, a freshman for Mark Byington.
Yeah, in name only, freshman.
He benches 2 Tyler Tanners.
So you got to circle that play as Bing went up in traffic against one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Came down with the rebound and made the 3-point field goal there, with the 2 and then the free throw. It's the largest deficit Florida has faced this season.
Chandler Bing is strong as an ox, 7 in black, and originally committed to Texas State. Just an Atlanta tough kid is how he plays the game.
Out to his buddy Condon. Bing is there to foul him. He tried to go straight up, and Condon helped create the contact.
It feels like there's 6 defenders on the floor for Vanderbilt.
Hey, Jimmy, Thursday night over on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Our next SEC Inside. It grants you an all-access pass to this SEC men's basketball tournament at 7 Eastern time. So we try to give you as much as we can, pull the curtains back, but you will see never before seen footage and sound from the players and the coaches. It is truly a behind-the-scenes look at this SEC men's basketball tournament.
Yeah, you'll see some conversations. I'm looking at Mark Byington right now. He and I talked earlier this year. Yeah, so when you have that team that you trust in a timeout, I really listen to my guys. What are you seeing? What are you confident in? And once they tell me that, It's up to me to kind of guide them through the blind spots that they're not seeing. That's such a big deal in March, man, when you trust your team that much.
No doubt about it. As he said to us yesterday, too, it's a smart team. You know, they pick up on things not only in between practices, they pick up on things in games.
You can make changes, and they pull it off at a high level.
Those 2 free throws missed there, and then a rebound by Vanderbilt. Here's Bing feeling it. Oh, boy, it's Chandler Bing day.
Yep. He is making some new friends now in Nashville. My goodness. This young man's got people hugging each other they don't even know as they watch this thing.
A great report there by Alyssa on the weight training and the explosiveness in the legs of Chandler Bing.
Something fell off the basket. He went at it so hard. Yeah, that weight room, it shows up with plays like this. Just bam. He was low when he caught the ball, so he didn't waste any time, Ravi, getting low. He was low and explosive. Kind of set himself up for the shot, was shot prepared.
Some equipment from the goal failed, so we're going to make sure that nothing, for safety reasons, that make sure everything is okay with the goal.
Well, yeah, you saw it drop right there.
Yeah, right at the end.
This could be a while.
Guys, I do want to clear something up real quick about Chandler Bing. I checked my phone at halftime. I had a ton of texts asking. He was named after the character from Friends, right? No, he wasn't. And to this day, he says he has never seen Friends. Yeah, which at this point, that's just kind of like a fun trivia thing to be able to say my name is Chandler Bing. I haven't seen Friends, right?
So when like he's in a room and people are flipping through the channel, because Friends is on all the time. You know, you have to wonder, like, so does he turn his head?
He can't watch it now. He's gone this long. Man, you talk about being angry at the rim. Chandler Bing, bada bing, as you say.
Did you know there's a new way to help screen for cancer?
Good to know.
Cancer Guard helps screen for over 50 cancers, even before symptoms appear.
Wait, what?
It's one simple blood test.
That really is good to know.
New Cancer Guard from the makers of Cologuard.
Modelo tastes good. But that post-double shift Modelo, that yard work's done Modelo, or that finally off your feet Modelo. The one you earned is just better. That Modelo is the mark of a fighter.
There he is, although you can't really tell, but that is Darius Acuff. And kind of the way he holds himself. There's not a lot of look at me stuff with Acuff, but he's only the SEC player and freshman of the year. He's the third dude to ever do that. And boy, somebody felt really comfortable on this floor for the first time in an SEC tournament game.
Wow, he went off, did he not?
Yes, he did.
Jane Bradley hit a big shot last night for Arizona, but none bigger than what Darius Acuff did to propel him now into the second semi today. I will say this about Darius Acuff. We'll talk about it more during the game. I think he's going to go top 3 in the draft. I would not be hesitant about taking him number 1, and I'll tell you why during that Arkansas game.
J.B. Burdett, he saw Klafschar and Tanner getting tied up when they blew the whistle.
It has been
they called it on Okereke.
Sorry, Ray, it's been a long time since Florida has felt like this within a game. Even in their early season losses, they were in there, you know.
No doubt.
And
they haven't trailed by more than 20 since February 1st of 2025. That was a 20-point loss to Georgia
over a year ago.
This is uncharted waters, and it's 10:35 to play in the second half. And they shoot themselves back into it because they've been cold from 3, and Lee gives it to Houck with 5 by Nico. Wow. Whoa! A determined flush from Thomas Houck.
That was ridiculous.
And he just picked up a foul there on Tanner. You mentioned the ability of the Vanderbilt guards to dribble through traffic, but no one was stopping this.
Now look at the seal-off inside. I think it was Chingliu on the backside, but man, the explosiveness and the pop that this kid brings. That's off of one over an athletic guy like McLaughlin who had SEC football offers. Again, Vanderbilt just not going to turn it over, and it's hard to come back.
Well,
Just as I say it.
Nope, he doesn't have the speed there to keep it alive. They got to hurry, though, with 6 on the shot clock, and another bad pass that falls in the hands of Nickel, who's going to have to throw up a fadeaway.
It's their day.
Oh, boy, it may be.
It is their day.
It may very well be. There should have been 2 turnovers on that possession. Flag sharp. They're not going to go quietly, though, the Gators. They are not going to go quietly.
Florida's going to have to increase the pressure defensively and try to create something off their defense.
Tanner pulls up. That's a little short. Here's Houck with a chance to further cut into this lead. He is determined to take it all the way, and Washington met him at the rim.
Yeah, determined, maybe slash stubborn, because Washington was just sitting there waiting on it. This needs to be a calm down possession for Vanderbilt. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I'm not sure if Bing does. They're going to call it underneath. Then they get Houck with that foul, and that will send them to the free throw line. 7th foul against Florida.
But Jalen Washington just sitting right there beside Thomas Houck, and the second guy off the floor, the long arm of the law. I talked about Mark Byington knew last year. I needed a rim protector if I'm going to make a deep run in March, and he has certainly found it in 13 in black.
I mean, they've gotten significant contributions from Washington and McLaughlin. They got 7 points from Nickel and Bing. Okereke's given him 9, and they have not yet missed a free throw today. 11 for 11 from the stripe.
They've been good all year, 80% in conference play.
There's a look of concern on Gators fans' faces today, the way this game has played out so far. 20-point lead for Vanderbilt. Condon missed an easy one, and it's low, and it's picked up by Nickel.
About every interior shot for Florida in this game, there's been multiple black jerseys in that airspace.
They've had 10 missed layups.
Ravi, Florida's average 2-point shot on the year is from 5 feet, and they've missed a ton of them today.
McLaughlin. Oh,
yeah. It might be their day, and it might be their tournament.
And they just give Todd Golden a technical foul. KB Burdett has heard a lot from Golden, and finally he delivers the technical foul against the Gator head coach.
And have they shot the lights off, right? The lights out and the leather off the ball. Vanderbilt now 10 out of 19 from the 3-point line. There's been multiple guys that have been doing it. McLaughlin, 99, wide open. The rise and fire, been multiple guys, and Bing breaks the basket and may have broken the spirit of Florida at the same time. We got an upset brewing in Nashville. Vanderbilt, a team that's going to do a lot of damage starting next week.
Out today, their big men shooting threes. How about McLaughlin, who's 3 of 4 from deep? And they're up 74-51, and will send Miles to the free throw line to shoot the technical free throw. 53% against one of the best defenses in the country.
Well, I said yesterday that Mark Byington moves his offensive pieces around as well as anybody in the college game right now. McLaughlin 3 out of 4. Okereke 3 out of 5 from the 3-point line. Think about this. Vanderbilt has now scored 28 points in the second half.
Yeah.
1 from Duke Miles, about to be 2.
Right.
And 4 from Tyler Tent.
Yeah. So yesterday they carried them. Today they've been a supporting role. And the big men and the ball movement and their defense has caused all sorts of problems for a team that is certainly in danger of falling off of a 1 line, according to Joe Lunardi in bracketology. Trailed by 25 points today. Again, now you got to go back to the last 3 years, man, as far as the largest deficit goes.
Sometimes you just got to sit there and take it.
Under 8, Chinyalu has it, and they're going to get a call on Washington with a hold. Any foul by Florida sends Vanderbilt to the free throw line. Vanderbilt's now only got 5 fouls. Well, this has not been the coming out party because he's been there, but I mean, Chandler Bing is getting minutes based on what he's done both offensively, defensively, and rebounding wise.
The future all-SEC player, 7 in black. Might be a first-team all-SEC defender next year.
Chino straight up, Bing kisses it off the glass.
Ravi, it's hard when you can't come down and make back-to-back threes and get a run going. Florida's comeback offense is not what it was a year ago.
They get it over half court. Seriously, Bing.
McLaughlin and Okereke have been so competitive in this game. Just like that time McLaughlin gets inside position, boxing off as an offensive rebounder. The speed and the quickness has offset the physical strength of Florida in this game.
And you can see some of the frustration too as Houck looks to the scoreboard. He's got 3 fouls now. McLaughlin to make it a perfect no. 14 of 14 before that miss from Vanderbilt in the free throw line. Houck, that is off to the left. Chinyalu's in traffic. The whistle blows. Pat Adams from behind saw a hold. Okereke grabbed the shirt.
Robbie, we'll see what happens remaining 7:15 of this game, but Florida certainly came to Nashville without their A game. This thing's not over, but this is a team that many feel like, and I'll put myself in that group as well, that's capable of winning the national title this year, but oh, they got to get right.
Yep, Leverett gets whistled, and they're blowing whistles a little quicker here. To Todd Golden's delight, down 23, and that'll send the Gators to the free throw line, and we'll be shooting free throws for the next 7 minutes and 11 seconds.
Yeah, but they didn't get there until the 7-minute mark of the game. And that's another big part of this thing. Vanderbilt has been so physical without fouling.
Yep. So now a whistle fest. The ball came down from Houck, and McLaughlin got his hands on it and on his wrists. On Leverett.
Mark Bynum told us yesterday against Tennessee, we got to be very good and comfortable in the grind game. And he's been good not only yesterday, but today, because Florida, as big as they are, the #5 defense in the country, Vanderbilt has grinded away.
Yeah, their free throw shooting has not been good today, Jimmy. They've now missed 6 of them. They started 10 of 10 and since 2 for 8. Houck gets it to go. They got Tanner back on the floor to help with the ball handling. He gets it and quickly gets rid of it.
1 turnover right still between Duke Miles and Tyler Tanner.
Yep, and he just dribbled through 2 guys to get over on the timeline within 10 seconds.
You got 2 guys that can close you out off the bounce, and they can close you out at the free throw line, talking about Miles and Tanner.
Miles sees a lane, uses that to get Chinyalu, but he slipped and he's going to get called for the walk.
Yeah, he did, and Ruben Chinyalu was put in a tough spot because Duke Miles is a jet coming downhill. And Chinyalu fought, though, to keep his chest right there in the grill of Duke Miles and forced to travel.
If you're just tuning in and you're seeing Vanderbilt 76, Florida 54, how in the world did that happen? Vanderbilt's defense has been terrific as Flan drives to the left and puts it back up and in, so it's now a 20-point deficit. Vanderbilt has shot really well. They got the crowd on their side, and Florida has not shot very well. 50-50 ball, and it goes into the hands of McLaughlin. The football player goes down to the ground to recover the fumble.
They have won 80% of those balls today.
Yeah, and Nickel can't get the 3 to go. Leverett. They've won the 50-50 balls.
Yeah. Only 3 turnovers in this game for Vanderbilt. 3. against one of the top 5 defenses in the country.
Been a very frustrating day for Todd Golden and the Florida Gators. Very frustrating.
Right, they've been outworked is what they've had. And it's 3 years since they've been outworked this bad. The graphic supported a couple of minutes ago.
Jimmy, tournament, big picture in the University of Connecticut, St. John's. They'll play for the Big East Championship. Florida loses here. Does it open the door for the Huskies to get back to the #1 line? We follow, of course, Joe Lunardi and his bracketology.
I think it could, Ravi, because you know the committee's watching this thing right now, and it's not a good look for Florida. The day before Selection Sunday, they might hold on to that last #1 seed. UConn could grab it away from them as well.
Could Houston jump if Arizona loses?
No doubt.
Chinyelu goes up and rattles it in. They're chipping away at it, trying to. The clock goes to 5:38.
They are, but Vanderbilt's defense is making Florida's comeback offense be tough too. You can live with that every time.
3 ball handlers in Miles, Tanner, and he tried to dribble through, and that didn't work. Boy, great balance by Lee to stay inbounds and stay on his feet. Land, a fadeaway, yep, all bottom.
Duke Miles has to make better decisions right now in the press offense. That's a good option right there. Pressure release at the back line, the timeline.
Byington calls on a play. Tanner has that ball on a string.
Well, Mark Byington is going to guard his own team a little bit here, Rav. I mean that as a compliment with the play calls.
Ooh, an alley-oop, but it worked yesterday late. It worked again to the same guy.
He has been outstanding. I think you could say he's the best defender in this game today. And boy, his offense has been right on spot as well.
80 points against the Florida defense for Vanderbilt with 4.5 to go. Lee, and an easy layup for the Princeton transfer.
That's okay. There's no quick threes by Florida.
Now Tanner falls down. They got a chance for one. Lee, wow, what a move there. Threw up with his left. He's going to go to the free throw line with 4:09 to go. You can feel the momentum, but it's a very slow momentum changing. With all that talk about who the #1 seed's going to be, we have you covered. Selection Sunday, it all starts 6 Eastern time, 3 Pacific. Join Sports Center first on ESPN. Reese and the guys will look at the men's field of 68 as the brackets are announced. That's followed by bracketology, which will break down each region. And then a couple of hours after Sports Center at 6 at 8 o'clock, it is the women's field of 68. A complete breakdown of each match at 9 Eastern time. So you'll see the brackets revealed on Sports Center at 6. You get the bracketology, then the women's unveiling of the bracket, and a breakdown of the women's field.
Well, we know the SEC is going to be represented in a big-time way in those first 16 seeds. Vic Schaefer's club won the SEC women's tournament last week, setting their chance to get to that Final Four. Mark Byington brought Okereke in because he's actually their 3rd best ball handler. Vanderbilt has enough points to win the game. Just use these possessions and don't turn it over.
Tanner all the way, and he does kiss it in off the window. Tanner with 15. Fland has to fire with 3. That's short and off. And a rebound to Washington. And now it certainly feels like Vanderbilt, listen to this crowd, is going to win this game.
It's worth repeating. Mark Byington says Tyler Tanner is the nicest guy on the planet, and there's 8 billion people. But his game speaks for itself. Choir boy looks, and a fire that burns inside of that jersey.
Chinyelu just knocked Miles down. They get the whistle there. We're under 4. We'll take a timeout. The Vanderbilt Commodores leading 82-64, and all smiles. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is going to be brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team. Last 323, what, 68-65 there? It does feel like for everybody that was on we're going to have all the 1 seeds make it to San Antonio. Maybe the storyline's changing a little bit here through the end of Champ Week.
Well, history tells us that those 1 and 2 seeds have advanced to that national title. 9 out of the last 10, 16 out of the last 20. Talked about it yesterday, the importance of the committee to get those top 8 teams right. There are some guys, Ravi, that can be so hard to knock out individually in the NCAA tournament. Darius Acuff for Arkansas is one of them. Yeah. Yaxel Lindenborg for Michigan can have the same effect.
Vanderbilt by 20. If you have that on your bingo card, you should then go and buy a lottery ticket.
You know, Mark Byington talked about his press breaker in that last timeout. Is a little bit of concern, couple of possessions.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, it is.
Isaiah Brown with a dunk.
Whoa.
Watch it. That was intercepted there. Brown again got back. They went for an alley-oop. And all of a sudden, Florida's starting to feel a little something going on. Down 14 with 2:20 to play.
They got 3 timeouts left. I'd use one just to settle it down, right?
A.K. Okereke, the Cornell guy who graduated Big Red in 3 years. Trying to end this one with 2:22, but it won't be easy. Jay was very capable of doing that.
And he's played in the Big East, the Big Ten, the Big 12, now the SEC. Almost had 1 win in the last 51 days coming into this tournament. There you go, better spacing, and you found a cutter instead of trying to do everything off the bounce.
Okere picked up his dribble. Who's he got? An open layup. It's Tyler Tanner.
That's why Mark Byington 2 minutes ago put Okereke back in the game, because he at one point in the season without Duke Miles, he was Vanderbilt's backup point guard.
Yeah, I remember that. Hard to believe, but yeah, he was their backup point guard. Houck will not take the 3. And now we're under 2 minutes. They got to get a shot up, but instead a fall down. Tanner's hands quick enough. Does he go all the way? No, he wisely backs it out. Smart play by Tyler Tanner, because you know he had some gators ready to block a shot. And there's a flush.
How about the timeout by Mark Byington? Some timeouts have different themes. That was a settle down and execute timeout, and man, they have knocked it out of the park in the last 90 seconds.
They're going to get Tanner there with the foul. Well, it's been a while. I mean, we're going to talk about Ole Miss, man, and how long it's been since they've last won a championship. But how about Vanderbilt? It's been a bit as well. 1993, that was their last regular season SEC title. They went 14-2. Chris Lawson, Billy McCaffrey were there. And in 2012, Jeffrey Taylor, 71-64 win over UK, and the tears in the eyes of your good friend John Jenkins and Festus Zeeley each had 17 points. Remember doing that for a SportsCenter highlight?
Well, I remember doing the game at my buddy Kevin Stallings, and Vanderbilt went through a pretty severe drought after they got rid of Kevin Stallings until the Mark Byington hire. Well, they are 124 away from being in the SEC championship game again. Well, Ravi, we will see if this was a one-off for Florida in Nashville or a serious concern.
Yeah, as they reset, recharge, get back home to Gainesville before they plug in for the NCAA tournament. But this is a troubling 2 games.
It is, no doubt, considering they dominated SEC play this year. Their average margin of wins, 17 points. Last year was only 10 points, and they rode that all the way to the national title. But you know Todd Golden now is going to have the full attention of his guys, his staff, himself. And we saw a reboot yesterday by the officials with their belt packs, and that's what Florida has to hit right now when they get back to Gainesville.
And remember, that game in Nashville, when we were there, Florida chopped their way off the floor, and that was just a, 98-94 is a 4-point win. Maybe we've sort of underestimated Vanderbilt, and now that Miles is completely healthy, they're a little bit better than they've been, and they've been very good.
Well, Vanderbilt, I'll be shocked if they're not in that second weekend or beyond. They're too good at the guard play, and they're too well coached. Got enough size to hang with anybody. Obviously, they did it today with the Florida Gators.
17, now 15 with 50 seconds.
Now, this is all about Vanderbilt today in my eyes. It's not that Florida didn't bring their A game. No, Vanderbilt had something to do with you not bringing your A game. And Mark Byington told Alyssa, I got, 2 hours sleep last night? Man, that is the life of a head coach in March when you're trying to cut down nets. Vanderbilt Rappy 1.46 points per possession today. A crazy high number. 1 is good, and they're at almost 1.5.
And Tanner is closing in on 20 points. That's his 19th. We talked about the complete effort. How about Washington with 17 points? Leverett contributes 7 minutes, but a big body. McLaughlin double figures with 12. Miles 15. Okereke 11, hitting 3 3-point field goals. That pass, and Miles has it in his hands, and Byington says, let's all slow it down.
Yeah.
A treat for the Vanderbilt fans here in Nashville at Bridgestone today. A big treat.
You'd expect there to be a lot of black and gold in this building tomorrow. 3 miles from their home campus. And they absolutely just knocked Florida right in the nose for 40 minutes.
What a performance for Mark Byington and his team. And a program-defining game, perhaps, for Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
As they will take down the #1 seed. Our final 91-74. The Commodores gouge the Gators.
Vanderbilt is probably going to end up on the 4 to 5 seed line. They are a problem early in that tournament for a 1 seed.
How do you think Arkansas is feeling right now? They didn't have to get Alabama. They're not going to get Florida.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy for them against an Ole Miss team that is on a mission. But the idea that if they advance, they're going to play Vanderbilt and not Alabama today or Florida tomorrow. John Calipari's had a lot of success.